big crowd here at Football Park to witness the second semi-final between Port Adelaide and Glenelg. Perfect conditions at headquarters, and the winner into the 1990 grand final. Hallahan gets the first touch of the final. Phelps with a long one and a left footer up to the half-forward line for Port Adelaide. They've got a chance to score already. Hodges, round the corner goes the Magarey medalist. That's a big kick by Hodges. First goal on the board to Port Adelaide. Hodges gets his first.
20 seconds in for the first turn. The second semi-final at Football Park. The Magarey medalist out in front, well of Chris Duthie. He was first to arrive, wheeled onto the natural leg and never looked like missing. So what a start, but pressure is off Scott Hodges.
And with the breeze, the Magpies open up with a 6-point advantage. In the ruck we have Milliken and Johnston. McDermott also in the centre. Milliken won it. Here's Salisbury. He's tackled beautifully by Stephen Williams. But umpire Argent says my ball just wide of the centre circle.
And minor changes. Glenelg starting with Simons at centre wing and Alan Bartlett opposed to Hines in the back pocket.
A lot of players around the ball. Forced down. Hutton on to Mark Williams. Up towards half forward. In front is Hines. Behind Bartlett. Here's Rowan Smith. He's dangerous around the goals. Darren Smith also. Wanganeen. Should be a walking goal for the Magpies. It is their second. And they open up a very handy 12-point lead.
The crowd's gone wild. A kick forward over the top of the pack where Rowan Smith was lagging. He got that movement quickly forward. Wanganeen inside the defence. Also had Darren Smith in the square, but the simplest of goals for Wanganeen. And within 2 minutes, the Magpies have 2 on the board. Shell shock treatment for the Bays.
Dream start to Port. 2 goals. Glenelg yet to score. We've played 2 minutes of the second semi-final here at Football Park, and there is a big crowd. There's a whistle and a free kick going Port Adelaide's way. Obviously an infringement inside the centre square. Johnston, well smothered by Marshall. Christie runs onto it, then gets a very quick kick, not a long one. Salisbury, a high one towards centre half forward. Phelps gets underneath it, and he's taken a good mark. No, it's Lamb, so the mark going Lamb's way. The 2 of them contesting, and Lamb will kick from about 50. This distance is not beyond him, but he didn't get onto that one. It's a high one into the pocket. No mark taken. Tregenza, Johnston, picked up by Simons, who was originally named on the interchange, and he's got one too high.
Tony Simons also will be about 45 metres out. I think it's too far for him into a slight breeze.
Fidge makes a lead, and Simons gets around easily, and then has a shot. He's missed to the left-hand side. Glenelg's first score, they're 1 behind, Port 2 goals.
That's a good tactic, playing Simons on Tregenza. He's got a lot more experience than Simon Tregenza, but has the other attributes to really compete.
Phelps favours the grandstand side. Here's Ben Harris coming through like a steam train. He was tackled by Seabohm. Wanganeen almost a throw to Darren Smith. It's loose at centre wing. Jamison, he's met heavily. David Brown. The hand pass comes loose. Going in hard is Fidge. Comes out northeast, up towards centre half forward. It was touched off the boot, so play on the call. To the back of the pack, chance here for Ross Gibbs. He goes to the boundary line, so the Glenelg defence under pressure. Good tactics under the circumstances. And it's out of play, left full forward pocket.
Well, the wobbly top spin punt by Ross Gibbs takes the pressure off the Bays' defence, and they need a breather.
Magpies by 11, deep in their attacking zone. Hines up high, Seabohm a quick kick. Here's Dean at half back. Needs support. Bartlett off the ground, but came off his opponent in Brown, so it's jarred out of play, and the boundary thrown in between left half forward and the full forward pocket.
It's a big day, a lot of nerves for both sides. They're being keen to go straight into the grand final.
11 points in it. Port Adelaide lead early in this first quarter. Bartlett, not a big knock on it, went straight to Williams. That's Mark. Easily evaded, but that kick not good. He was in the end put under pressure, and Robbie Thompson was able to take it.
Well, he's really in form, Thompson. Tremendous second half of the season.
Half-back flanker with a high kick. Good mark taken by Hutton, the wingman. So Port Adelaide will boot this into attack again. He squares it. Not a good kick by Hutton. He doesn't do that too often. Marshall, away from the half-back line. Goes out even wider. Simons is there, Tregenza as well. That'll be an interesting duel, as Darryl mentioned. Simons comes in, puts Tregenza under a lot of pressure. The ball kept in play. Marshall, back it goes, and Simons has erred as it went through his hands, and there'll be a throw-in on the eastern wing.
Symptoms of nerves. Tony Simons will be very keyed up, getting back into the league side and keen to do well.
Port by 11. Melican works his way to the front, knocks it down. Ginnivan, also Salisbury goes in hard, and he's a finals hardened player, Scott Salisbury. 2 goals, Port Adelaide. They lead Glenelg 1 behind. The Magpies with a slight breeze in the opening term. Umpires Argent and Mackey officiating in the second semi-final. It's knocked to ground. Here's McDermott, spins out of trouble to his opposite, number 10, and Stephen Williams. Fiacci off half-back, up towards Rowan Smith at half-forward. Glenelg with the numbers in defence. Jamison kicked into the centre of the ground. Now a chance for the Tigers as Marshall passes to Fidge on the lead and half-forward. Good recovery on the ground by John Fidge. Marshall backs up well. Here's Murphy, inside 50, lets fly for goal. And he puts the Bays first on the board. Now the margin 5 points in the second semi.
And already David Marshall is imposing himself on the game. Got the ball direct to Fidge. He dropped a relatively simple mark, then put the ball behind Marshall, forced him to hand off to Murphy. And Michael Murphy, the controversial one from last week, accurate with the left foot, and the Bays begin to fight back.
2 goals to 1-1, and Glenelg have steadied after that big start by the Magpies in the early part of this quarter. 6.5 minutes first term, second semi-final. Melican and Johnston. Marshall round the corner to Murphy, already looking dangerous, didn't look, and Fiacci, the back pocket player, will clear for the Magpies. Hutton was his target. Brown is there as well. Well done by Brown. Left footer, Rowan Smith, over the head of Rowan Smith, and Gibbs has it, but he was held on to, and it's got to go to Rowan Smith.
The push was obvious when you check the replay.
So Smith into the left forward pocket. Hodges 2 to beat, and did it superbly.
What a brilliant take. So confident after that first goal in the first 20 seconds. Scott Hodges, clamp-like grip.
Brilliantly done by Hodges. He already has 1 goal. He's had 2 kicks so far. It's 2 goals to 1-1. Hodges' kick is good. It's through the middle. Another one to Hodges, and Port Adelaide are 3 goals. Glenelg 1-1.
And he always acknowledges his teammates. A good team player, Scotty Hodges. The build-up was there. Gibbs in fringe. The kick in front of Hodges, and a perfect kick, just fading that ball in with the breeze. Port Adelaide won the toss, kicking with a breeze we estimate to be worth about 2 goals, and already 8 minutes in they have 3 on the board.
And they lead by 11 points. Port 3 goals to Glenelg 1-1. In the centre, Melican rose high. Down to Stephen Williams though, up towards half forward. Ross Gibbs back there, a good defensive mark. Inside his defensive 50, he bounds away, favours the grandstand side. The lead's on from Salisbury in front of Hutton. And he gets the Bronx cheers from the big Magpie crowd, and he held the mark just inside the line. So Scott Salisbury, a rugged defender, 211 games from Scott Salisbury. His second kick to centre wing, big fly by Melican. It's knocked to ground. Thompson versus Stephen Williams. Yard free, Hines goes in hard. Here's McDermott. He earned the free kick, a push in the back defensive side of centre wing. The key playmaker, Chris McDermott, looks for Marshall, opposed to Hines. Marshall scooped it out. Phillips goes in hard. He's tackled. It's jarred wide, but it'll reach the boundary line, and it's out of play in between centre wing and right half forward on the grandstand side.
Well, David Marshall already a big influence on this game, controlling centre early in the first term.
Magpies by 11 points, 9 minutes. Dean round the corner into the forward pocket. It's all Port Adelaide. George Fiacci able to drop back and take an easy one. He goes across the face. Northeast, the half-back flanker. Simons comes at him. He draws him as it turned out. Now Tregenza will get a big roar from the crowd as this brilliant youngster almost loses control, and he has. And Lamb takes control now. He doesn't do that too often, make mistakes. Lamb's kick is a lovely one. Short passes on, beautifully done, and Simons ends up with it. Squares it. McDermott, the skipper. 3 goals to 1-1.
Well played by Clayton Lamb. He had the problem of chasing Tregenza. Simons was caught with a loose man, had to attack.
McDermott short and low. And Tony Simons has control of this football 35 metres out on a slight angle.
And we highlighted the fact that Simons onto Tregenza could be a positive mood from Corns. Simons with the experience, popping up twice now. This is his second shot for goal.
Spent a bit of time in the reserves, Tony Simons. Had 3 kicks already. 3 goals to 1-1. Simons' kick is an awkward run. It'll fall well short. And Port Adelaide to mop up. Ball still in play. Fidge can't control it. Hallahan, round the corner he goes. Big pack into the air. Big thump from the Port Adelaide defence. Out of bounds, right forward pocket.
Well, the pressure was really on from the Port Adelaide defence. Paul Hallahan had to go for the safety of the line. And Graham Corns just a little bit itchy. It's always hard time for the coach until both teams settle down.
Deep in the Bay's attacking zone. Here's Abernathy and also Fiachi in defence. Takes possession, but it skews off the side of the boot. And the shot from the pocket from Scott Salisbury. He may square it. The kick will have to go back because he wasn't behind his mark, Scott Salisbury. 18 playing 7. Port lead by 11 points. Salisbury tight on the angle in the dead pocket here at Football Park. Now the kick to go to Chris McDermott in the end. He chips short to Salisbury, improves the angle somewhat, but the distance still a factor.
Yes, this pocket at Football Park, known as the dead pocket, with the breeze from right to left, needs a very powerful kick.
Salisbury will shoot from 45. Good looking kick by Salisbury. Hasn't got the carry. It's just knocked through by Russell Johnston for the behind. So Glenelg 1-2-8. They trail Port Adelaide 3 goals, 18 points.
Well, both sides beginning to settle down. Glenelg bringing Simons onto the wing. They've got Alan Bartlett opposed to Hines in that back pocket, or forward pocket for Hines. And they were quickly on the board with a goal in the first 20 seconds.
Phelps to Johnston was good, and Johnston's taken an easy one. He had 3 to beat. Plays on quickly. This is Abernathy, a lot of experience. Northeast, the half-back flanker. Ginniver, long kick, looking for Hodges. It'll fall short. And Gibbs with another good mark. It's his second mark so far. His third, in fact. He goes wide to Jamison. And Jamison in the back pocket. Short pass. Centre wing. Oh, good mark. Excellent mark taken by Bartlett.
Yes, good control of the ball by Glenelg as well. They're building in front of Bartlett. Attack from behind from Hutton. He took a strong mark.
Kicks beyond the wing toward right half forward. A big pack into the air. It comes to the side. Picked up brilliantly by Wanganeen. 2 bounces. Very close to the boundary line. A double-handed bounce. And then another one. That's 4. So he's made up a lot of ground. The kick wasn't a good one as it turned out. Gibbs, was he held on to without the ball? The umpire didn't seem to think so. And now he's penalised. It's holding the ball. It's going the way of Glenelg, and it'll go to Jamison.
Jamison off the half-back line. Chips in short to Christie. Now he looks inboard. The run provided by Dean. Overlap from Melican. Glenelg march into attack. Up towards Fidge. 1 out versus Harris. Lurking is Simons. Inside 50. He's got the run of it. A good pace shown there by Tregenza, and he kicks it towards the safety of the boundary line just beneath the scoreboard, and good tactics by Simon Tregenza.
Well, despite the fact that Glenelg trail by 10 points, against the breeze they are moving effectively and maintaining possession from half-back.
It's about 70 metres out from the Bay's goal. Here's Stephen Williams, also Brown. Simons ends up with it, kicks around his body. Fidge comes out, Lamb also. It's inside the 50-metre attacking zone for Glenelg. Coming out as Fiachi, though, into the centre of the ground. Up high, Darren Smith. Oh, Jennifer met very heavily by Bartlett. A very fair hip and shoulder. It's out towards the outer side centre wing. Here's Tregenza. Now the move on from Port Adelaide. The lead's on from Hodges. And lace out, he takes a brilliant mark in front of Chris Duthie.
Well, little Duthie could do. We see the passage before Bartlett quite legitimately took Ginniver out.
And Hodges with his third kick. He's already booted to. He'll shoot from 45. The breeze at his back. Just lays back on the kick, but it is true. And Scott Hodges has 3. The Magpies boot their 4th.
Well, what can the opposition do? The kick was to space, and once Scott Hodges marks, he's kicking accurately. Breeze at his back, and Graham Corns no doubt has contingency plans, but Chris Duthie seems to be the player who is physically equipped to cope.
4 goals straight, Port. Glenelg 1-2, 24-8, 15.5 minutes, second semi. Excellent conditions at Football Park. Williams, a sweeper, a long hand pass to Tregenza. Will it sit? It does. Marshall runs at him. Tregenza kicks into the pocket. Duthie in front. Hodges. Oh, it was just a little too high for him on that occasion, and Duthie is happy to just with a sweeping hand pass. He thought he might have run past the white line, but apparently not. This is Dean off the half-back line, and Dean with a long left foot kick. Murphy from behind and Phillips in front. Went straight past Mansell. Good work by the defence of Port Adelaide. Brilliantly done by Fiachi. That kick, oh, it bounced off the chest of Hines. Williams goes in with courage, and we'll have a ball up in front of the members, centre wing. It's 4 goals to 1 goal 2.
But on the bottom of the pack again, Scott Salisbury, who had an eye only for the ball.
The Magpies by 16 points. Marshall in the end takes the ruck duel. A quick kick to half forward, northeast, and Fiachi. Lack of talking by the Magpie defence. It's loose. Here's Lamb inside 50, forced onto his unnatural right side, and he's kicked it behind. So Glenelg 1-3-9. They trail Port Adelaide 4 goals 24.
Quick hands, Michael Murphy. The reflexed hand pass to Clayton Lamb.
Harris looks out wide. The loose player is northeast. Courageous mark in front of Lamb.
Remember last time they duelled, northeast kept Lamb almost kickless.
Awkward kicking style, but effective for northeast. Trying to pick out Wanganeen at the back of the pack. Bartlett. Now no numbers for Glenelg at half forward. Johnston, a good one-handed mark around the body, up towards half forward. Bartlett, and also Seabohm in defence. Now the run provided by Gibbs. Ross Gibbs looks in short. The target is McDermott, but dropping into space, taking a good mark is Simon Tregenza on the outer side centre wing. Some nervous players out there. His 4th kick, Tregenza, up towards half forward, but Thompson into the space and takes a good mark.
Very reliable defender is Thompson. Jamison's kick was a bit awkward. 2 against 1 in favour of Port Adelaide on this occasion in the left forward pocket. Picked up by Hutton. He squares the ball. Lovely pass to Brown. Yes, he's taken the mark. No, he hasn't. The umpire didn't seem to think he held onto it long enough.
Well, Hodges came out and gave his teammate a lot of time then, just showing how hard the Magarey medalist works. David Brown, fingertip attempt, just failed.
Bounce inside the attacking 50 for Port Adelaide. Hines doing some tackling. Thompson. Marshall. Oh, Williams just a fraction late. And the umpire having a word, and it's 50 metres. First 50 metres of the game.
Quite legitimate. Stephen Williams saw the opportunity. It is finals football, and that's to be expected.
Port of 4 goals. Glenelg 1 goal 3. 5th kick coming up. Into the pocket, and Fidge is there, so that's come unstuck, as Harris was very close to Fidge, and there'll be a ball up or a throw-in in the right forward pocket.
Port Adelaide 4 goals 24 lead. Glenelg 1-3-9. Were played 19 minutes in the first term of the second semi. Phillips takes possession off to Mark Williams. Support out from Phelps. Good combination by the Magpie defence. He looks inboard. Long kick with the breeze to centre half forward. The fly will be from Darren Smith. But standing his ground. A good mark taken by Bartlett in defence.
Behind the pack, last man, Seabohm with Darren Smith, and now Gibbs to the far side.
And he looks out towards Marshall, the key playmaker, but a poor foot pass, and it's out of bounds, centre wing outer side.
Glenelg just a little overwhelmed by the power of Port Adelaide. That's why they trail by 15 points.
So on the outer side centre wing, Melican, who's done some good things in the ruck early on. Wanganeen may have earned the free kick, but play on the call. Here's Thompson, a quick one over Mansell's head. Fiachi comes out. Good hand pass, sets up Williams. Attacking side of centre wing. Look at the foot pass. Hodges not quite able to grab the ball, and Bartlett mops up. The Bronx cheers from the Magpie crowd. He pops it up Back to Duthie. Inside to Dean, so Glenelg have the numbers. And lays out. Brilliant pass, finds Fidge just inside 50.
Well, wasn't that a brilliant replay? Duthie was just able to spoil. The crowd, the Port Adelaide supporters thought it was a free, and then Brett Dean, given time, set up John Fidge.
And Fidge, with his second kick, may be his range. He's into the breeze slightly. Tries to run around. Ben Harris does so. Former teammates, and he blazes away goal. He put himself under heaps of pressure to the dead pocket and a behind score.
But well done. Knew that he was too far out into the breeze. Had a go. Showed a lot of confidence, even though the angle was poor.
Phillips has 2 to beat. Simon's one of them all. Simons pushes Phillips in the back. He's got 3 to beat now, thank you very much. And as it turned out, he did a pretty good job as Tregenza comes over and congratulates the big bear.
But Michael Murphy believes that was holding them up.
So Russell Boyd is on the field. It's 4 goals to 1 goal for. And Port Adelaide lead in this second semi-final. High kick by Murphy. This will be awkward to mark. Dean getting underneath it and Hutton. It comes to the side. Marshall swoops on it. He has 2 to beat. One of them is Brown. And the other is Phelps. And there'll be a ball up outside of the 50 for the base. 4 goals to 1 for.
Conditions are perfect for the skillful players. Marshall is demonstrating that he likes these conditions.
Magpies by 14. Ginniver's kick was smothered. Comes out to northeast. Good vision and an intelligent knock-on by Hutton to Fiachi. He looks around the corner. The lead's on by Russell Boyd. He couldn't quite trap it on the half volley. It's loose. Good body work by Seabohm over the ball. Thompson in defence under enormous pressure. The fist from Hutton was good. Beautiful spin by Mark Williams. He goes long. Now Hodges will fly behind the pack. Chance here for Darren Smith. Also Wanganeen. And the snapshot was just offline. That was spectacular stuff by Scott Hodges.
Well, Duthie's decided to play Hodges from in front to prevent the fast lead. Oh, it was metres in the air. Darren Smith, Wanganeen were there. Wanganeen, the quick snap, just off to the right.
4-1 to 1-4. 25 to 10, 15 points in it. And the Magpies, they lead this second semi. Gibbs taking an age to decide. Eventually goes short. Very short to himself. And then he goes wider. Duthie got his kick away just in time. Boyd from behind, Melican in front. Melican eventually gets the hand pass to Dean. It put him under a lot of pressure. Ginniver came at him. Now Tregenza, McDermott, Christie, Simons, McDermott can't get rid of it. Now does to Dean, so they break it up a little. And Dean with a short kick. It's very close to the boundary line, and Phillips has taken a good mark in front of Murphy.
The margin 15 points, Port lead. Phillips looks in short. His skipper on offer in Russell Johnston. A long kick by Russell Johnston to centre half forward. Behind the pack, Mark Williams. He's got a bit of space and he'll look for Hodges. Can he gather on the half volley? He does. And steadies, and he misses from 30 metres out. He's booted 3. That's 3-1 now. Port Adelaide 4-2-26. Glenelg 1-4-10.
Well, the danger of Hodges. He sold the dummy to Duthie, then turned on to the non-preferred leg. Although a little inaccurate, it showed the confidence of Mark Williams in his full forward.
Margin now 16 points, 26 to 10. McDermott. Ginniver did well to put him under enormous pressure, and as a result, he was forced over the line. 4-2 to 1-4. Port lead, 23.5 minutes first quarter.
And a fairly even quarter, given that the Magpies have the breeze.
It's in Port Adelaide's attacking zone. Russell Boyd overran it. Stephen Williams in there hard. Comes out to Bartlett. Little chip pass, but intercepted beautifully by Fiachi. Well down from his back pocket. A poor kick though. It's inside 50. Stephen Williams. A lot of pressure in defence for Glenelg, and McDermott clears up towards centre wing on the outer side. The mark taken there by Michael Murphy. He plays on with it. Numbers with Glenelg. Here's Dean. A long kick to inside 50. It's Lamb versus Northeast, and Lamb earns a free kick. Glenelg trail by 16, and the foot pass is beautiful. And that is very intelligent play by Clayton Lamb.
Both sides are using their full forwards intelligently. Although Fidge is not gold, he's had a number of touches and he'll kick from about 35 metres out. Should make the distance.
And Fitch with his third kick will shoot from 35. He's opposed to Ben Harris, former teammates with the Bears, as Fitch drives through beautifully with his kick. His first, Glenelg second, and the margin pegged back.
And Glenelg certainly building from the far side where McDermott was able to control the ball. The pass to Fitch, and then a set shot for his first goal. But that's the sort of touch a full forward needs early. And Glenelg have played quite fruitfully, despite the fact that they've kicked into a breeze. We reckon it's worth about 2 goals, and so from 10 points the scores are about even.
4-2 to 2-4. 30 seconds into time on, into the first quarter. Dean tried to get the kick away, not successfully. Wanganeen kicked off the ground by Williams. Ginniver, who suffered a very strong bump in the early part of this quarter. A lot of strong tackling. Marshall was being tackled very well there by Williams. And there'll be a ball up.
Both teams have obviously got a lot of respect for each other. They're playing hard but fairly.
10 points in it. The Magpies lead. Christie. Free kick, and it is going against Salisbury. And the free kick will go Port Adelaide's way. It'll be Russell Johnston to take it, their big captain.
Fourth kick beside the centre circle, up towards half forward. Now Thompson dropped the eyes, allowed Ginniver in. Snapshot from Tim Ginniver, just offline. And in finals footy, Darryl, you just can't afford to make those mistakes at half forward.
No, Thompson was in under threat. He had to fly backwards and just lost his concentration.
Gibbs goes in short, finds Melican, draws the player over towards Hallahan, off the half-back line to centre wing. The target is Murphy. Clean bowls, 4 players. Christie lumbers. Did well, Gary Christie, to get a quick kick around the body, but Abernathy's there. Tackled well by Salisbury. A short kick is loose. Good knock on by North East. He's met heavily by McDermott. Here's Stephen Williams to Ginniver. Sweeping hand pass to Wanganeen. The Shepherds on from Johnston. Wanganeen runs away from half forward. He looks in towards Rowan Smith. A fingertipper couldn't mark, and Gibbs clears, but only as far as Melican. Will it go out of play on the full? It does. So the free kick to Gavin Wanganeen at left half forward.
Port Adelaide by 11 points. Sorry, Darryl.
Just a metre wide. Nothing a lot wrong with the kick.
Wanganeen goes short, but it was too short for Hodges, who mops up brilliantly. Hutton has a shot. It's going to be wide, and it is out of bounds on the full right forward pocket.
7 scoring shots to 6. Port Adelaide on the scoreboard, just a little more impressive.
And they lead by 11 with the aid of a slight breeze in the first term. Alan Bartlett inside his defensive 50. He'll favour the outer side centre wing. Glenelg with the numbers. Christie flies high. Good mark. Splits it across to Simons. Good footy, Glenelg. He's got support from Marshall. The Tigers building. Fidge on the long lead, but it wasn't well put. Play on the call. Good umpiring as Abernathy tries to mop up behind the pack, and it's forced out of play.
Alan Bartlett across that half or full-back line has done very well. He's had 5 touches in the first term. We thought Christie would play there, but Bartlett's done well.
Christie and Johnston and Murphy and Phelps. Fiachi at the back. Needs someone to give it off to. Eventually through the traffic, gives it to North East. A high one. Tregenza and Simons. This time Tregenza has a lot of pace. Simons runs with him though. A long one. Smith from behind. Seabohm in front. Smith has got it. Gave it straight to Bow though. Got to go back to Bartlett. Away from the back pocket. Out wide to Melican, who's by his lonesome. Oh, he was about to play on. He has been called to. Brown will have too much pace for him. Got it to Marshall. Over the top to Simons. He's got a bit of space now. And Glenelg build inside 50. Oh, well done, Harris. Magnificently done by Harris, and away he goes.
And he comes out aggressively to centre wing outer side now. A big chance for Brown, who was behind the pack. He's got the run of it. Bouncing his way just outside 50. Hodges at fingertip level, and perhaps he didn't make the most of that golden opportunity, David Brown, and it threw from behind. So the quarter time siren sounds in the second semi-final, and Port Adelaide are 4-5-29. They lead Glenelg 2-4-16.
second quarter, second semi-final. Port Adelaide a 4-4-28. Glenelg a 2-4-16. And the Bays to kick with the breeze in this, the second term. Melican gets a kick from the centre to the half-forward line. Picked up quickly by Christie. Needs support. Had 3 Port Adelaide players coming at him. Fidge with the opportunity. Goes over the head of him. Harris has got to do the running. Dean hits the behind post.
Brett Dean overlapped well, timed it, just couldn't quite take possession. He worked hard in the first term. The rewards will eventually come.
And Glenelg with the breeze in the second term. They trail by 12 points, knocked to ground. Mark Williams, as Abernathy knocks it towards the boundary line. Salisbury did well to keep it in play, and he tackles Mark Williams beautifully. But umpire Mackey says, my ball in the right full forward pocket.
And we'll see a defensive quarter from Port Adelaide. They'll play the far side. That's the defensive flank.
And if anything, the breeze has just sprung up here at West Lakes. Tucked away in the pocket is Salisbury. Brings it back. Could have been a free kick to Fidge. Simons, the snapshot, very high in the air. Big knock of players in. Mansell kicks it off the ground, but not before it reached the goal line. So a behind scored, and the margin 11 points.
Timmy Geneva mopped up, just managed to get hand to ball, and then palm it through.
Short little pass is good to Williams. Back pocket. Stephen Williams, long one, looking for his captain, or Hutton, who comes in from the side, can't control it. McDermott on hands and knees. Hallahan, round the corner he goes, and Lamb has fallen into the spot and taken it in front of Piarchi. His fifth kick, a left footer. And he shouldn't have too much problem with this distance. It's 4-4 to 2-5. Long kick by Lamb. That's a beauty. First goal to Lamb, and Glenelg a 3-5. 3-5 Glenelg, Port 4-4. We've played 2 minutes of the second quarter.
Well, Lamb was dragged by Coach Corns last week. This week already playing well in the first term. Just inside 50. The left leg, the breeze behind his back. And that'll lift his confidence. Can be a match winner. And today against arch rival Paul Northeast.
The bounce in the centre, 5 points in it. Port Adelaide lead. Good knock on by Melican. Murphy. Here's McDermott. Long now. There's a one-out battle. Harris versus Fidge. Both slip to the ground, and it's forced out of play. That's going to be a good contest all day. A lot of body strength between those two players.
It'll be a contrasted style. Fidge can lead, likes to body, but in that department, Harris is a little stronger and a little bigger.
So the boundary throw-in, right full forward pocket. Christie and Johnson. He won it down. Comes down to Mark Williams. Hand pass was smothered. Knocked wide. Abernathy versus McDermott. Here's Geneva. Now there's a free kick on play. It'll go to Bruce Abernathy. Inside his defensive 50. His second kick into the centre of the ground. Darren Smith the target. And he body out Seabone beautifully. Intelligent hand pass to Stephen Williams. Even wider to Greg Phillips. Northeast centre wing. A touch of the fumbles as Marshall bears down. Phillips back there. Opposed to Lamb. It's knocked on as Northeast gets a quick kick up towards half forward. Hodges in front. Bartlett was spoiled by his own player in Duthie. And the free kick will go to Scott Hodges, I think. Yes, it will. A high tackle.
Well, the Glenelg players thought it was their free. The crowd were undecided, and umpire Mackey gave it to the Magarey medalist.
Hodges' fifth kick. He's booted 3. A long one. Breeze bringing it back, but just offline. So 3-2 now to Scott Hodges. The Magpies 4-5-29. Glenelg 3-5-23.
He's playing very confidently. He's a real focal point. That aggressive attack at the ball.
Gibbs goes to the eastern flank. And he's got Duthie out there. It's a 6-point margin. Port lead, 4-5 to 3-5. Duthie to centre wing. Dean plays on very quickly. Thompson, long one to centre half forward. There's a push out. And it's going Glenelg's way. It'll go to Christie, or will it be Salisbury? It'll be Salisbury to take it. He's a kick and a half out. It's a high one. Looking for Fidge, who's outnumbered 2-1. sandwiched as it turned out. Williams will run onto it. He's got Fiachi or Ginniver. Eventually goes for the kick a little further, and he finds Brown. So Brown at the half-back line. Long kick. A lot of players over there, and Gibbs has come down from his back pocket.
Gibbs is really in form. Well, that's his 7th kick, and he's been a real strength in defence.
Melican through the centre. Long, Christie the target at centre-half forward. Beautifully read by Salisbury. Now, Murphy, a mistake with the hands was bad footy, and the free kick in defence to the Magpies. So a costly mistake to Michael Murphy. Jeff Phelps chips in short. Long lead provided by Rowan Smith. Plays on to Ginniver. Into the centre of the ground. Up towards Darren Smith. So the Magpies playing possession football. Sweeping hand pass, concedes ground to Rowan Smith. He's tucked away in the pocket. The foot pass to Russell Boyd. And it's forced out of play. Just beneath the scoreboard, 4-5-29 Port. Glenelg 3-5-23.
Just over the line, tried to keep it in play. Port moving with confidence.
6 minutes, second quarter. This is the second semi-final. Seabohm and Smith. Gibbs off the ground. Williams back to his brother. That was Mark to Stephen. Thompson and Brown. Hallahan got it from Marshall. And Hallahan with a long one to the half-forward line. Abernathy picked up brilliantly by Mansell. Round the corner he goes. He needs someone up on that half-forward line. It's a fickle bounce for all players. Lamb, beautifully done. Lovely hand pass to Finch. And Finch runs into the open goal and scores. 4-5 to 4-5. There's nothing in it. And Finch gets his second.
Well, what a brilliant hand pass. The ball beat the pack. Lamb got it out. Intercepted by Murphy. Put the pass over Harris. Finch ran in the simplest of goals for the full forward for his second. And suddenly the scores are all tied up at the park. 7 minutes into the second term. Glenelg looking good.
So even Stevens in the second semi, 29 points apiece. Back in the centre, Johnston and Melican. They've rucked tirelessly all day. Melican knocked it down to Hallahan. Back to Thompson, who chips up towards half forward. Christie, he knocked it to ground. Tregenza off the ground. Wanganeen, beautiful interception. And he runs to the point of the square. The foot pass was beautiful. And Hodges marks inside 50.
Perfect kick. Lace out. In front of the eyes. Little Duthie could do.
Hodges with his 6th kick. He's got 3-2. Long one against the breeze. Looks very good. That is a strong kick for Scott Hodges. His 4th. And the Magpies hit the lead by 6 points.
Well, again, the highlight of the game, the level of skills. Wanganeen broke clear. Was kicked forward. Time for one bounce. Such a confident half forward. And the drop punt pass to Scott Hodges. Top pace in front of Chris Duthie.
He kicked 8 goals, 7 in round 20 against Norwood. 131 for the season. Outstanding. 5-5 to 4-5. There's 1 goal in it. The Magpies regain the lead. Williams surely held without it. Melican erring. And this is Mark Williams, former Brisbane Bears player. This is his 5th kick. Towards centre half forward. Big leap by Hodges. Couldn't control that one. Wanganeen and Gibbs. Ginniver. Wanganeen in again. Intelligently out to Tregenza. Back it goes to Ginniver. Little short pass. Looking for Brown. It'll go just wide of him. And over the line. Right forward pocket. It's 5-5 to 4-5. We played 9 minutes.
Good, intelligent, legitimate use of the body by Bartlett.
The Magpies by 6 points. Right full forward pocket. Hallahan's kick was smothered. Ginniver wrestles with McDermott. A bear hug there. Deep in defence. But the umpire will bounce. So 35 playing 29. Deep in Port Adelaide's attacking zone. Taking it off the pack was Darren Smith, but it's forced out of play. So just to the right, goal, behind post, I should say. The boundary throw will take place. 5-5-35. Glenelg 4-5-29. A big crowd here at Football Park to witness perfect conditions in the second semi-final. Mark Williams takes it off the pack. Callahan intercepts, up towards half-back. Tony Simons at the second attempt, marks in front of Tregenza. He's inside his defensive 50, Tony Simons. His 8th kick, chips in short, the target Melican. He comes out, here's Tregenza, lost his footing. Bartlett over the ball, also Brown, but umpire Mark Mackey intervenes, and the bounce at right half forward.
Just the little signs of Simon Tregenza losing a little bit of confidence. Simons has done well, played in front.
10.5 minutes, second quarter. Johnston, Wanganeen tried to pull it out of the pack. Chris McDermott on the bottom, and he'll be the last to get up with Wanganeen and umpire Mackey. Another ball up. 5-5 to 4-5. 10.5 minutes, second quarter, second semi. Hallahan, Marshall overruns it, had 2 to beat. Oh, McDermott goes in hard. Now Marshall again, well done by the veteran. Over the head of Lamb. Desperately trying to pick up is Christie. Now he needs someone to give it to, and he did it superbly. No, it was a throw holding the ball. So Port Adelaide now off the half-back line.
Phelps plays on to Abernathy, who provides good run. Centre wing, grandstand side. He centres the ball. Big thump from Christie. Here's Wanganeen, chips into the space. Hodges makes space. Chance for Brown. Boyd, I should say, inside 50. He taps it in front of himself. He's got the run of it, trying to evade Bartlett. Gets around him well, but he's tripped. No free kick forthcoming. It's jar free. Goes back and gets it himself, and he kicks it out of play on the full. Well, he had no support, Russell Boyd.
A for effort, and the execution was just a little lacking.
Thompson in the back pocket, long kick, but the ball will be recalled. 5-5-35 Port Adelaide, Glenelg 4-5-29.
Well, certainly the conditions and the tempo of the game for the final are going to find the teams out. It will surely be the fittest team in the second half.
Ross Gibbs goes across the face. Simons marks in front of Rowan Smith. His 9th kick, Tony Simons. He's been a prolific possession gatherer on his centre wing. As Duthie bounds away from Tregenza, a poor kick on this occasion. Murphy, Duthie backs up well. Here's Thompson, a hurried one to half forward. Christie from the side. Dangerously lurking was Lamb. He's got the run of it. Has to contend with 2 Magpies. Jamison goes in hard late, and he errs on this occasion and gives the free kick to Northeastern defence.
Just a little late. It was side on. It's a technical free from umpire Argent.
So this is Hines. Johnston off the field, Hines on. Over the head of Murphy. Melican. High one. Looking for Fidge. Yes! Oh, I thought he might have dropped just a little short, but he's taken it on his chest and he's got a 50 no.
In front, pushed by Harris. Good play from Melican. Put the ball forward to find the full forward, 1 out against his opponent.
That kick very deceptive, but Fidge has made up a lot of ground and he took it on his chest as it turned out. He's already had 5 kicks. 5-5 to 4-5. This to square it up again. 13.5 minutes. 40 metres out. Long one. It's offline. No, it's straight through. So Fidge gets 3 for the game. And Glenelg 5-5. Port 5-5. And we've played 14 minutes of the second quarter.
What a clash. The 2 best sides in South Australia. The ball loose for Melican. He just popped it forward. Fidge had the pace. And just lucky to not, or unlucky to not, get a 50-metre penalty.
So scores tied up. We've played 14 minutes, the second term and the second semi. 5-5 apiece. Umpire Mackey, the bounce in the centre, won by Hines. Here's Thompson, back towards Marshall. A long kick to left half forward. Mansell versus Fiacci. Superior body strength by George Fiacci. Off the half-back line. He looks out wide. The run provided by Hutton. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. And it's out of play in front of a big crowd on the outer side. 5-5 apiece. We've played 15 minutes in the second term.
Big crowd. Perhaps 40,000. Not too many vacant seats. Eastern side. Dean to Salisbury. Out of bounds on the full. So the Magpies to put this back into play at left half back. Fiachi. And he gives it to Ginniver, who will do the honours. Eastern side of the ground in front of a big crowd. His sixth kick. It's a little short one. It goes to Smith, the centre half forward for the Magpies. He goes equally as short, and that was not good by Smith. Doothy to Marshall. And now the Bays start to look pretty good as they get the ball up to the half-forward line. This is Murphy. Little short one by Murphy looking for Fidge. Not quite long enough. He picks it up off the half-belt volley. Beautifully controlled by the full forward. Round the corner he goes. Mansell the target. Couldn't control it. Now Lamb. Back he goes. Mansell again. Oh, he ran straight into Wanganeen. It comes to the side of the pack and Christie picks up Dean. Was it too high? No, it wasn't.
Well, the defenders moved business.
Oof.
No, it wasn't too high. Ben Harris was attacking the arm, and Brett Dean, a smaller player, went to ground heavily.
A bounce at centre half forward for Glenelg. Up high, Hines comes down to Hallahan. Force wide. McDermott ends up with it on the 50-metre line. He sets fire for goal, and he's hit the post with his sixth kick. And Glenelg hit the front by one.
Pressure is on. McDermott just across his body, missing on left-hand side. Glenelg player is down, probably winded, and it's case for the stretcher. 2 hands up.
Harris to the outer side, half-back flank. Good mark taken by Milliken, who's done some good things in his field work. A sweeping hand pass to Dean, but he'll be called to go back on his mark as the stretcher comes out. And unfortunate here for the Tigers, Darryl.
Yes, they've got a run on too, leading by only 1 point.
That might be Christie.
I think you're right, Mark. I think maybe Gary Christie at centre half forward. And he was providing good support for Chris Milliken in the run.
Or is it? No, I don't think it is Christie.
I think it might be Michael Murphy.
Yes, I think it is too.
No, he's on the ground. It's Clayton Lamb.
Yeah, we'll get it right shortly. Here we go. Lamb goes down, and it is Lamb. So that's a cruel blow, Darryl, because you've described him as one of the most damaging, if not the most damaging, half-forward flanker in the state.
Well, he had a very poor game against Northeast when they last met. He was dragged by Corns in, I think, the second quarter last week, but came back brilliantly in the final term to be a match winner. So they'll be anxious for him to return if possible.
So pause and play as Lamb is stretched from the field, and it'll be a body blow for the Tigers. It was a very damaging customer, Clayton Lamb. With 49 goals for the season. And Glenelg currently lead by 1 point. Now with the breeze in the second term, Milliken is outside 50, long kicked, searching for Christie from behind. Here's Wanganeen. Support coming from in defence, Mark Williams. A long kick, Simons the run of it. Oh, good knock on by Tony Simons. A backhander to Jamison. McDermott to Thompson, good football, but a hurry kick falls in the arms of Russell Johnston.
So the Port skipper from the back pocket. This will be his 5th kick. Glenelg lead by a point. First time in the game they've been in front. Murphy and Williams, and Murphy's been awarded it. The big centre half forward for Glenelg. He's a kicking a bit out, but he has got a slight breeze behind him. He's going to square it. That's a lovely pass to Mansell, who is a very damaging forward, Darryl.
Often the dummy forward pocket player, the goal sneak, kicking 3, 4 and 5 goals a game, and a prodigious and accurate kick.
So Mansell, this is his 2nd kick. 35 metres out. Kick is long, strong and accurate. No, hits the post. Well, it was accurate if he was going for the post, because that's what he's done. 2 points the difference. Glenelg lead.
Posters to McDermott and to Mansell this quarter. The Bay's just a little offline.
And they lead by 2. Short pass finds Northeast. He's tucked away in defence, draws the player, Wanganeen. This could be dangerous, but Phelps, a slick hand pass back to Wanganeen, who's got blistering pace off the half-back line. Darren Smith draws the player, looks in longer. Hodges on the lead, couldn't grab it on the half volley. Bartlett comes out, needs support, comes in the form of Duthie. His hand pass was brilliantly smothered by Scott Hodges. It's jarred free. Here's Simons. He's tucked away in defence, chips in board. Stolen there by Ginnivan. Up towards full forward. One-on-one Thompson versus Stephen Williams. Thompson with superior strength. Hands it off to Gibbs, who'll clear on the outer side half-back flank. He was felled after disposal, so the free kick to Glenelg upfield.
Umpire Argent back to try and break up the fight. Just a little bit of action. It's been a very controlled game. Discipline from both sides. They don't want to get rubbed out prior to the prelim and grand final. But boys will be boys.
And the free kick to Glenelg in defence. The player is Michael Murphy on the outer side half-back flank. The Tigers lead by 2 points with the breeze. He looks into the centre of the ground. The target, Seabone. He's got runners out wide. Elects to go to Milliken. Off to Hallahan, so Glenelg a chance. Here's the playmaker. Number 16, Marshall, goes long towards Finch. Nearly the mark. Chigwin on the ground. The snap was smothered beautifully on the second attempt. And he goes from 15 metres out. Nicholas Chigwin for his first. And Glenelg beat their sixth.
Second time lucky for Nicholas. David Marshall's pinpoint kick. Fidge high. Harris just brought it forward. Chigwin the first time spoiled by Phillips. Luck of the bounce was with the rover. Snapped accurately. And they creep ahead now by 8 points.
4 goals to 1 in this quarter by the Bays. They're turning it on in front of this big crowd. It's 6-7 to 5-5. And the Magpies under a little pressure. A long, long way to go yet. Rowan Smith, a mistake with the hands. He goes in again. McDermott is there as well. Phelps, a kick out of the congestion. He goes very wide to Boyd. Can't pick up. Foster, who's on the ground. Now Fiarchi, the back pocket player. Short, Hodges. Duthie with him. Hodges slips over. Duthie over the top of him. And there'll be a throw-in. Left forward pocket.
Well, because of the heat and the tempo, both coaches are giving their reserves a run, or the interchange players a run.
It's an attack for the Magpies. A knock on by Hodges. Comes down to Wanganeen. Can he keep it in play? No, he can't. So a boundary throw in between half forward and the left full forward pocket. 35 playing 43. The Tigers lead with play 23 minutes second term of the second semi. Taken here by Bartlett. A high one looking for Dean. It's knocked to ground. Here's a chance for Fiarchi. He chips in short. Boyd at full strength couldn't mark. Mark Williams onto Ginnivan. He's propping. Brown will be met heavily by Hallahan. And Gibbs clears. Short to McDermott. Here's Marshall. So Glenelg builds from defence. 3 bounces on the outer side centre wing. He goes long with his 11th kick up towards right half forward. But it's forced out of play. So Marshall and also Simons have been the prolific possession gatherers for the Tigers.
And Marshall able to direct that ball so beautifully, setting up his forwards.
So Glenelg leads 6-7 to 5-5. 23 and a half minutes second quarter. And it has been Glenelg's quarter. Hallahan gets the kick away. Fidge and Harris. Harris with a big thump. Chance for Hallahan. Now to Fidge. Round the corner and he's missed. And it was Mansell providing the hand pass on that occasion.
Just the chances there for John Fidge. He has 3 goals. 24 minutes into the second term. Someone has a corked thigh. A bit of ice will be put on that one shot. And it's Simons again to the centre wing.
So the margin 9 points. 6-8-44 Glenelg. Port 5-5-35. Phelps goes in short, finds Brown. 4th kick for David Brown. Beautifully smothered by Chigwin. Was he over the mark? Yes, he was.
Oh, technically perfect to smother, except he was slightly over the mark by a centimetre.
So David Brown will kick for the point of the square. up towards centre half forward. Mark Williams flies, behind is Bartlett. Here's a chance for Geneva. He overran it, but he's over the ball, burrowing hard, and umpire Mackey will bounce just on the 50-metre line for Port Adelaide, who trail by 9 points.
It's 14 scoring shots to 10, showing Glenelg's supremacy.
6-8 to 5-5. In time on, second quarter. Wanganeen, Boyd, Williams swoops magnificently and gets around Simons. Swings it round the corner. Gibbs, no, Hodges. And this could bounce through. Seabone gets back. Oh, that was oh so close. He draws Smith. Now Thompson. A long one, and they were very lucky to get out of that.
And it's out of play on the full, so possession with Port Adelaide up towards half forward. Brown makes space beautifully. He runs inside 50 against the breeze. The fly from the side will be from Hodges. It's forced to ground. Bartlett in defence will mop up. Support from McDermott. He's trying to gain possession. Good persistence by Chris McDermott. And it's out of play at right half forward.
Well, disappointed he couldn't take, but he did his job, took it to the line.
The Tigers by 9 points. It's been a hectic second term. Smith up high. Bartlett away from half back. Chance here for Phillips. The bounce favours Johnston. Inboard to Fiachi. Fancy footwork. Here's Hutton. Inside 50. Steadies and shoots. His first, David Hutton. And the Magpies boot their sixth.
Good constructive football from Johnston on the back play. The kick was loose. Phillips just unable to take. Ruckman Johnston came up inside to Fiachi. He got clear. Once again the penetrating hand pass. And Hutton inside his opponent kicked the accurate goal. So 3 points only to the Bays as the Magpies fight back.
6-8 to 6-5, Glenelg lead. 2 minutes into time on, into the second quarter. Johnston to Williams, out wide to Brown. No, Foster's got it. Now Hutton, oh, he's dragged down by Dean. That was good stuff. Thompson breaks away from the half-back line, so they turn defence into attack the Bays. Great mark taken by Murphy. Short.
Beautiful take from Murphy between.
And Christie has it now, and he is 25 metres out on a slight angle.
How quick the game can change. Port were ahead of centre. The error from Hutton when he didn't kick, and the play changes round and Christie to shoot.
His fourth kick. This to put Glenelg 9 points in front, right on the siren. He stabs at it, and he's missed to the left-hand side. So there's 4 points in it. 6-9, 45, Port 6-5, 41.
Very even duel in the first half, and a measure of fitness will be required in the second half.
Approaching half-time of the second semi. Phelps to the outer side. Chance here for Wanganeen. He was up high. The player is Hutton. Inside his defensive 50. Chips in short. Fiachi, who's done some good attacking work for a back pocket player. On to Wanganeen. Look at this fellow go. Blistering pace through the centre of the ground. 3 bounces. Looks in towards Mark Williams. Behind was Gibbs. It's loose. Here's the chance for Seabone. Lays it off to Salisbury. And he sweeps it out wide to Marshall. They lead by 4 points, the Tigers. Marshall long to right half forward. Chigwidden, who's booted one. He started on the interchange bench. Trying to get things moving. Looks inboard to Dean. So Glenelg playing good possession footy. The playmaker Marshall. Long tumble punt kick with his 13th kick. Murphy at centre half forward. It's jarred free. Here's Fidge. The snapshot. Could it roll through? It has. And Fidge boots his fourth. And their seventh.
And they are on a run. Had the numbers to the ball. Marshall put it in front. It evaded Mansell. It evaded Murphy. Then suddenly Christie got it out. Fidge inside the opponent. Chigwidden was supporting, but the ball bounced and ran clear.
51 to 41, and Glenelg open up a buffer. 10 points. 29 and a half minutes. This is the second quarter. Johnston uncontested. Dean, Hallahan, McDermott goes in with courage. Hand pass wide. Jamison, Chigwidden, wide hand pass. Salisbury dragged down magnificently. Now Simons, who's had a million touches. Round the corner, Christie gets underneath it. Fiarchi, no mark. Ginnivan. Chigwidden again. Hallahan, round the corner. Harris will get underneath it and take a good defensive mark.
Support coming from Phillips. Looks out wide. Run provided by Hutton. He's got a Paddock to run in. Bearing down as Jamison, but he gets his kick away. Long, Gibbs. Superior body strength and experience over David Brown. His 12th kick. In fact, the hand pass on this occasion off the Melican. Long to centre half forward. Murphy. Here's Chigwidden. Congestion of players at centre half forward for the Tigers. Coming out as Fiarchi. Tackle. Long to half forward. Boyd. Vigorous bodywork versus Bartlett. They trail by 10 points, the Magpies. Boyd plays on to Mark Williams. Long kick. The target is Hodges. He's got 4. Knocks it to ground. Here's Stephen Williams. Support from Rowan Smith in board. Goes it alone though. And that could be seen as selfish play by Stephen Williams. Out of play on the fourth.
It's 7-9 to 6-5. 31.5 minutes. This is Seabohm out of defence. Marshall gets underneath it. Over his head. He did get a hand to it though. He's got 2 to beat. One of them is Fiarchi, who's had a lot of touches. Marshall intelligently. McDermott off the ground. No support in that right forward pocket though. It went wide of the mark, and that mark may well have been Chigwidden, and it's out of bounds.
And Glenelg just showing superior pace. It's their little men, the control of Marshall in the centre, which is giving their forward thrust so clear movement.
Throw in the pocket. Christie, Johnston. And there'll be another ball up. Jamison running goalward. 7-9 to 6-5. We've played 32 minutes.
So the Tigers by 10 points. Seconds away from half-time. Rowan Smith. Touch of the fumbles. And again, the boundary line wins out. So the pressure is really on here in the second semi. A direct passage to the grand final for either Port Adelaide or Glenelg. We've played 33 minutes or approaching thereof in the second term. Murphy down to Chigwidden. Here's McDermott looking for Marshall. Support coming from Dean, but the siren sounds for half-time. An exciting quarter of football by Glenelg. They lead by 10 points at half-time, 7-9 to 6-5. The start of the second half in the 1990 second semi-final. Glenelg by 10 points, 7-9 to 6-5. Melican won the first tap. Geneva around the body, up towards half forward. Thompson, who played a good first half. Here's the chance for Port. Hines, who's got players loose. The player is Brown at half forward, but good defensive action by Glenelg. Here's McDermott, who goes wide to the outer side wing. Christie meets it. Mansell, support coming from Hallahan. He slips over but had time to recover. Attacking side of centre wing. The lead's on from Fidge. Can he trap it on the half volley? He can. Inside 50, straightens and shoots with his 9th kick. He boots his 5th goal, John Fidge, and Glenelg have their 8th.
Well, what poise from the full forward. Hallahan put the ball well in front of Fidge. He turned inside, evaded Harris. No Port player attacked him. He shot from 40 metres, and number 5 was just a fairly simple matter for the Glenelg full forward, who's in top touch.
So the Bays by 16 points. What a day out for Fidge. Just 1 minute into the third quarter of the second semi. Melican, who's done a good job. Marshall, another touch. Out to the wing in front of the members. Hutton went without it. Chigwidden was tackled beautifully. Smith got it out to Hutton again. Ginniver, Williams. Oh, the tackling is superb. Wanganeen was brought down and Thompson runs away from centre wing, puts it up towards centre half forward and Fidge over the head. He's got a chance. He's now got Fiarchi to beat, but Fiarchi intelligently very close to the boundary line and it's out of bounds, left forward pocket. It's 8-9 to 6-5.
The challenge from John Fidge that Fiarchi had been deliberate in taking that ball out was probably correct, but umpire Argent unmoved.
The Tigers by 16. Christie and also Johnston over the top, Phillips. But here's Simons. An outstanding game so far. Inside 50 with his 12 kick up towards full forward. Lamb. No, the player is not Lamb because he's off the ground. In fact, Murphy wrestled to the ground. About 10 metres out from the Tigers' goal. 2.5 minutes, third term. A very handy 16-point lead to Glenelg. Now against the breeze in the third term. Johnston up high, couldn't knock it down. Here's Wanganeen. Mansell, Chigwidden kept it in play. Simons running out of room and his kick was jarred out of play.
Off the boot, so not a lot that the teams have done. Hines is playing up the ground at centre half forward, still attacked by Bartlett.
The Bays by 16 points. Tregenza, who was off the ground in that second quarter. Ginniver with a high one. Williams, Marshall from behind. McDermott holding the ball. The skipper has erred. And Williams to take the free kick. Usually a very good player in terms of kicking. 3 against 1 here. Northeast outnumbered. Thompson jars wide. Marshall, lovely hand pass to Chigwidden. Back he goes. Murphy, long kick and goal. 9 goals, 9 Glenelg. Port Adelaide 6-5 and there's a big margin now developing.
Michael Murphy finished off the hard work from Fidge. Marshall the penetrating hand pass. Chigwidden the overlap to Murphy, and as he straightened up, the goal face was open. He made the distance, so ahead of centre, Glenelg more constructive.
And the lead out to 22 points. 9-9 to 6-5. We've played 4 minutes, third term of the second semi. Tap won by Melican. Here's Hallahan. Thompson off his half-back line has been dominant. It's up towards half-forward. Abernathy, time to tidy up. Good hand pass to Northeast. That wasn't so good to Hutton. And he was tackled well by Hallahan. Gee, the tackling has been ferocious. And Bartlett sees it out of play.
The negative attacking defence of the Glenelg has been brilliant.
So the Tigers by 22, and they have first blood in the third term against the breeze. 2 early goals. Here's Thompson. Kick was smothered well by Wanganeen, but it came off his shin, and it's out of play on the fourth.
That's the luck of the game. Chris McDermott. Not a big game, but a very hard-working skipper.
8th kick by McDermott into the pocket. Big pack, no mark. Johnston. Out wide, Hutton. Round the corner, Thompson. Hand pass across to McDermott. Oh, brilliantly done by the skipper. Right in front of the members. Not a good kick though, and the big bear has taken it, and that's Phillips. This is his third kick. Away from defence to Johnston, his skipper. And Johnston's kick is smothered. He just took that a little casually, and Simons, who's had a lot of kicks, outnumbered 2-1, but did it well to Melican. He has to go wide. Seabohm, the defender. Even wider, Marshall, who's been a very damaging player. And they are going forward, Glenelg, with a lot of ease. The chance for Jamison. Oh, there is Chigwidden. Another goal to Glenelg, and Chigwidden gets his second, and it's 10-9 to 6-5.
Constructive football. Seabohm in front of centreman Marshall, who had made space on the flank. Too much time, put it up high. Mansell with one hand cleared the pack, and Chigwidden the rover in the spot for the simplest of goals. Glenelg the first 3 in the first 6 minutes of the third term.
And the Tigers running players are really cutting Port Adelaide to pieces in the third term. Glenelg lead by 28. Here's Hallahan in the centre, but umpire Argent in for the bounce. 69 playing 41. We've played 6.5 minutes in the third term, and it really has been an explosive start to the third quarter by Glenelg. McDermott, here's Dean with space, ahead of centre, long kick, Fidge on the long lead. Christie lumbers out, but Fidge has possession. Good shepherd by Christie. He turns and shoots. Murphy in the square. Oh, and it hit the post. Well, things really rolling Glenelg's way. That was just a touch unlucky. Took the off break. And Glenelg 10-10-70. Lead Port Adelaide 6-5-41.
And Murphy just a little unlucky then as Phillips tackled.
29 points this margin, and the Magpies under pressure. Hutton did it well. Lovely pass. Hines in front of his eyes. He's got Hutton again. And Hutton from centre wing. It's a long one. Hodges behind this time. Doopy. No push. Hodges to get the free kick.
Good decision from umpire Mackey. In front, the push was there. Doothy standing, infringed.
4 goals to Hodges. This is his 8th kick. 45 metres out. Kicking to the northern end. A lot of concentration, and he has got it. Oh, they needed that. 10-10-75. Glenelg lead at the 8-minute mark of the third quarter.
Well, both full forwards have got 5 goals. And that was an excellent passage. A lot of hard work from Hutton. He got clear with the 1-2, put the ball to space. That's where the infringement occurred, and Doothy pushing illegally.
So Glenelg 10-10-70, lead Port Adelaide 7-5-47. 8 minutes third term of the second semi in the centre. Johnston wrestles but can't gain clean possession. And umpire Mackey will bounce just wide of the centre circle.
And will we get a famous Port Adelaide second half of the third term comeback?
The margin 23. Coming through Marshall. A sweeping hand pass. Tregenza with pace. Also Wanganeen in defence. It jars free to Dean. On the lead is Fidge. And play on the corner. Didn't quite grab it cleanly. It's farmed out in the direction of Phillips. Here's Geneva out towards northeast. The Magpies clear from defence. A sweeping hand pass. The runner Hutton ahead of centre. David Hutton. The lead's on from Hodges. Now lurking dangerously is Wanganeen. It's knocked to the boundary line. Good defensive tactic by Doothy. Will Rowan Smith keep it in play? He does. Back to namesake Darren. He's bobbing and weaving at half forward. He's claimed high. And the free kick to Darren Smith outside 50.
Good run from defence by Northeast, setting up that movement. Here's the tackle, just a little high from Seabone.
Smith squares it, but a poorly directed kick, and in the way is Alan Bartlett.
Defensive work by Bartlett is good. Doothy. It was his 10th kick by Bartlett, so he's had a big day. Centre wing, awkward one. Murphy went past him and Mansell. Fiachi had a very big second quarter. Chigwidden, was it too high? No, it wasn't. It was holding the ball. Port Adelaide to clear. 10-10-75.
Well, Port must work very hard and very physically to get back in the game.
14 kicks to George Fiachi. Hines, no mark. Salisbury, a hand pass through the congestion. Wanganeen with a strong tackle. Seabone, hand pass was loose. It is fast and ferocious up on the half-forward line for Port Adelaide. Seabone is there again. So is Geneva. Oh, that tackle, just too slow. That was Salisbury. This is Dean. Chigwidden. Western wing into the right forward pocket. 2 against 2. No one able to take the mark. Murphy is there. He's trying desperately to get it out now, and eventually he's bailed up, and there'll be a ball up in the right forward pocket.
Well, Murphy has been the dominant player. Apart from Fidge's goal-kicking ability, he has beaten Phillips hands down, and although he probably hasn't had a lot of kicks, it's been very effective.
Glenelg playing inspired football, lead by 23 points. Here's McDermott, and the tackling has been sensational in the second semi. Mark Williams to northeast, sweeping hand pass to Smith, back to northeast, long. The target is Hodges from behind, nearly on the second attempt. Beautifully read off hands by Geneva. His 10th kick, first goal, and the Magpies boot their 8th.
The run of Rover, Tim Geneva. off hands. Northeast working hard. The hand pass, the overlap, the kick. Good strength from Hodges. Spoiled off the head of Duthie. And Timmy Ginnifer, the simplest of goals as he ran clear. So the Magpies, the last 2 goals at the 5th and 11th minute mark. Can we see a famous Magpie recovery?
Glenelg by 17 points, 10-10 to 8-5. Second semi in front of a monster crowd here. Perhaps 40,000. Brown. Williams trying to shrug the tackles. He couldn't do so. Dean, a desperate kick. Up to half forward. Mansell gets underneath it. It was Hallahan. Actually, was sandwiched as it turned out. McDermott, brilliant vision. He goes wide. Port Adelaide trying desperately to mop up in defence. Jamison, I should say. The kick was smothered. Johnston caught. Holding the ball. The umpire right on the spot. And Simons, who's had a lot of touches. This is his 14th kick. He goes in short into the pocket and Fidge. Nor was it a mark. No, it wasn't.
The elbows and the ball. And I'm sure a replay would show as Argent taps him on the bottom. The ball hit the ground before John Fidge arrived.
17 points in it.
Accurately decisioned by the umpire.
Hallahan the snap towards the golf course end, but all the Magpies back there in defence. Phelps bounds away, looks for the run of Tregenza, opposed to Simons. Tregenza, good take at full stretch. Long kick to Ginniver at half forward, opposed to the opposite number 2 in Ross Gibbs. Here's Seabohm, but the boundary line will win out at right half forward.
And Simon Tregenza, that right thigh heavily strapped, obviously a corky and limping, but made good pace for that kick.
The Tigers by 17 will play 14 minutes third term. Bartlett did well. He's been a good player in defence, Alan Bartlett, with 11 kicks, and it's out of play on the outer side centre wing.
Now, Coach John Cale, of course, has to take this risk, must win the game and give Simon Tregenza a spell. But if they have to play again next week, he would be at risk.
Millican to McDermott, to Bartlett. A high one. Murphy coming in late. Good mark taken by Christie. Now Chigwidden. A drop punt. Looking for Fidge, and he's got it! Oh, he's about to run into the open goal, and he has not missed. 6 goals to Fidge. 11 goals to Glenelg. It's 11-10 to 8-5. 14 minutes gone, third quarter.
And that man, Nicholas Chigwidden, who's been a real spark for Glenelg, put the ball in front. Again, the familiar use of the body as Fidge shrugged off Harris inside the last defender, chipping forward for number 6. A brilliant performance by the blonde-headed full forward.
And the margin 23, 11-10 to 8-5. This has been a great third term by Glenelg. The bounce in the centre. Johnston versus Millican. Here's Johnston again in the centre. Knocks it wide. Comes out towards the direction of Tregenza. He pops it up to half forward. Brown versus Gibbs. Bartlett from the side. The ball is loose at right half forward for the Magpies. Bartlett first there. Needs support. Gets it in the form of Gibbs. He's as cool as you like, Ross Gibbs. Around the body. Oh, big mark taken by Tony Simons. Nearly best the field. Sweeping hand pass to David Marshall. On the bounce. Here's McDermott. Long to left half forward. In front, Christie. Gets on with it quickly. The lead's on by Fidge. One out versus Harris. Knocking it wide was Phelps. Here's Northeast, and the Magpies clear.
And the half-back flanker with a long spiral screw punt to left half forward. Thompson and Duthie. Duthie runs onto it. He needs support. Hand pass was smothered. Thompson is in late. And also Wanganeen. No, it's Hutton. And there'll be a throw-in at left half forward. 11-10 to 8-5.
The work rate high.
Clayton Lamb.
The test.
Sorry, Darryl. Clayton Lamb on crutches. Not there, but he was earlier. So he obviously won't take any further part. There's a push. Port Adelaide's free kick. It goes to Williams. That's Mark. Long one. Smith the target this time. Williams runs into the open goal, swings it round, and he has missed. He didn't bring it round far enough. 14 scoring shots to 21. Glenelg, dominant.
Their little runners have created havoc.
And they lead by 21. Gibbs, familiar pose, kick to himself, draws the player. On the outer side there is Milliken. Good evasion for a big man. Got around Hodges. Chips in short. Murphy opposed to Greg Phillips. It's been a good contest all day. Michael Murphy with his 8th kick. In fact, his 9th. Looks to Simons. Here's Marshall. Leg. Will he get the free kick? No, play on the call. It's on the outer side, half forward flank. Marshall gets it back. Put out the elbow. Kicks long to centre half forward. Mansell breaks. And he marks inside 50.
Must play on quickly. A good mark against Fiacci, but should play on quickly.
He's just outside his range, Darren Mansell. They lead by 22. His 3rd kick. No leads forthcoming. Now there's one short as Simons breaks into the space. And they've done it well all day.
Bit of indecision from Mansell. He had Christie in the square alone. Fidge on the lead, but sat through the action, and then Simons popped up. So Tregenza, or now it's Tregenza is wide, Hutton is on the mark.
And Tony Simons, his 15th kick, midway through the 3rd term. Fine performance. Back into the senior side from 40. He fires at goal, and it's just offline. 11-11-77, Glenelg. 8-6-54 Port Adelaide.
What a brilliant move by Corns to bring Simons on in this game, Darryl.
Well, we highlighted that in the first 5 minutes, Mark, his experience. But, of course, Tregenza a little unlucky with that cork thigh.
Fiacci and Mansell, and Simons picks up, gathers nicely. He's got to get around his opponent, Tregenza. Does it okay. Now Marshall, who's had a lot of kicks. That kick just a little bit too far for his teammate. Picked up by Wanganeen, left footer, away from his defensive half-back line. It wasn't good, and Jamison has it. Infield he goes. Long hand pass by Seabaum. Oh, here they go again. This is Milliken, who is having a big game. He was looking for someone up forward, but just dropping short there. And the mark taken by the defence of Port Adelaide. This is Wanganeen again, away from the back pocket. Not a good kick. And Murphy hit him right on the chest. It was a beautiful pass, but not intentional. 10th kick coming up for Murphy. Fidge, 2 to beat. Still in play. Oh, slipping over there was Wanganeen. Murphy with a strong tackle. Throw. And Murphy to get the free kick.
Well, if anything has been important, it's been the strong, aggressive tackling demonstrated by Murphy.
He thought about squaring it. He's 60 metres out, too far. 11-11 to 8-6. 77 to 54. Long kick by Murphy. Mansell. Almost. And Harris just waiting at the back has taken it.
He looks out wide. Run provided by Fiacci. The target, Tregenza. Fiacci's 14th kick. Simons marks on to Marshall. Glenelg have loose players everywhere and half forward. Gibbs well down from his back pocket. Long to the square. Christie one-on-one. And he kicks it through. Gary Christie, his first. And Glenelg boot their 12th.
Well, a poor kick again from defence. And Simons on the back play to Marshall. Wide was Gibbs. He went for the goal. And in the square opposed to one Port Adelaide player, I think it was Phelps. Christie off hands, and the boot came up.
It's a 29-point margin now. And Port Adelaide, for the first time in many weeks, are under a lot of pressure. They've been under pressure off the field. They now face pressure on the field. It's 12-11 to 8-6. Hutton. Callahan. Brown into his back. A lot of players around the football. And the Port Adelaide bench warming up.
Boyd warming up.
As Boyd is getting ready to come on. 20.5 minutes. Just a little further than that. 20 3/4 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Brown with the free kick. This is his 6th coming up. Left footer. A pretty good one towards centre half forward. Bartlett, oh geez, done well. Wanganeen out wide to Fiacci, the back pocket play. He's about to set something up. The door opens for Port Adelaide. Into the pocket, it's very wide. Seabaum able to mop up easily. Back to Gibbs and out of trouble again.
And Glenelg to the grandstand side. Chance here for Salisbury. Darren Smith first to it. Does he keep it in play? He does. Outside 50, the foot pass through 2 players' hands. Johnston tackled beautifully. Wanganeen, 20 metres out. and he misses to the far side. So Port Adelaide 8-7-55, Glenelg 12-11-83.
Unfortunately, that's Wanganeen's third error for the quarter. He had two poor kicks to Glenelg, and that shot, he did not straighten his body. It just shows the pressure that the quick tackling Glenelg side have applied.
83 playing 55. The Tigers hold sway. Here's Seabohm in defence. The margin 28 points. Seabohm kicks to grandstand, the outer side centering, I should say. Christie, oh, good chip pass in the path of Marshall. McDermott over the ball. A congestion of play on the outer side, half forward flank for the Tigers, and the bounce will occur.
So what can Port Adelaide do? Johnston's off. Boyd will come on for a run. Hard work for Big Ruckman today.
And hard work for Port Adelaide. They trail by 28 points. And the Bay's into attack again. Phelps, one of the tall players on the ground. Little short pass is good to Brown, who dropped it. Marshall, a very dangerous player. Northeast, hand pass, it was blind, it worked out okay though. Wanganeen infield, he goes to Ginniver, and Ginniver setting up a long kick to Hodges, and he's got it. No, he missed it. Well, things just not working Port Adelaide's way as Thompson comes away with it. Almost into the middle. Hines, Chigwidden, beautifully done to McDermott. They're setting something up again here, Glenelg. McDermott to Mansell. Yes, no. Fiachi brought to the ground. He's done particularly well. He cuts across. He goes looking for Abernathy, and he has him. The half-back flanker. A little short pass to Hutton. Very late Salisbury. Hand pass across to Ginniver. He's got a lot of problems as Salisbury tackles him. Now Hutton, no support. And Glenelg about to go forward again. Now, hello, what's happened here? Holding on, and the free kick to Port. It'll go to Hutton.
Defensive side of centre wing. Looks in short for Brown. The Magpies will need to develop here. Outside 50, Ginniver runs long to the square. Hodges, yes. Mark behind Duthie, who's remonstrating with the umpire.
Well, it did use his body. Pushed off Duthie, but too strong. So Scotty Hodges almost, yes, on the edge of the square, should convert for his sixth.
He's got 5 goals. 9th kick coming up for Scott Hodges. From the goal square, he puts his 6th on the board. And the margin edged back somewhat. Port Adelaide, 9-7-61. Glenelg, 12-11-83.
Well, they worked hard. Dean is coming off for Glenelg. On goes Bow. David Brown had time to straighten up, set up the play. Ginniver put the kick one out with Duthie and Hodges, and the strength of Hodges one out.
5 goals to 3. Glenelg in this quarter. 12-11 to 9-7, but Port have got the last one. 12-11 to 9-7. Back in the centre, 22 points. This margin. The Bay's in front. Hines, Boyd. Oh, that was beautifully smothered. It ricochets out wide to the eastern wing. Tregenza. Short pass is good to Ginniver. Hand pass across to Harris, who's a long, long way down from full-back. Hodges from behind. Wanganeen at the back, waiting. Out of bounds, right forward pocket.
A little revival from Port Adelaide. Into time on now by 15 seconds. John Cale at ground level. And the Port Brains Tusk know they're under pressure, but they're coming back.
Tigers by 22. Here's Seabohm. Hand pass to McDermott. Backtracks. Bartlett. He could be caught and is. And that is a dangerous tactic in front of goals to start swerving and bobbing. And he pays the penalty.
Inside, outside. Well done, Boyd. He will kick from about 15, nearly 20 metres, angle 45 degrees.
Russell Boyd is 60th game. 15 metres out, he chips and goes. His 3rd kick for his first goal, and Port Adelaide boot their 10th. The Magpies 10-7-67, trail Glenelg 12-11-83.
The last 2 goals have been very important to the Magpies. McDermott was forced to go backwards to Bartlett, and he didn't get rid of the first one. Paid the penalty, and It's 5 goals to 4 favouring Glenelg. The breeze has almost stopped. It's slightly to the Port Adelaide end.
And Glenelg lead by 16 points. A minute and a half into time on in the third quarter of the second semi-final. McDermott to Marshall. Chigwidden, a very wide hand pass to the very dangerous Simons. From left half forward to Fidge. Mansell. Well, while Fidge was being held on to, Mansell has taken it on his chest. And the free kick will go to Fidge.
Well, the focal point of the game has been both full forwards. Mansell was there, but Harris had pinned Fidge.
6 goals so far to Fidge. 13th kick. 12-11 to 10-7, 27 minutes. He'll kick from about 45 metres to the southern end. Distance won't be a problem, nor should the accuracy. The kick is long, but it is not accurate, and it's a behind to the left-hand side. So Glenelg 12-12-84, Port 10-7-67.
Well, Fidge is human. Very few errors from the full forward.
Phelps to the grandstand side, northeast. In front of Bow. It's loose. Hallahan runs in. Good hand pass, sets up McDermott. Good evasion by the captain. Long to the pocket. And Murphy on the second attempt. He marks inside 50. 7th mark to Michael Murphy, so he's been a dominant force up forward.
Now this will be a difficult shot. The breeze from right to left. 7 shots, or 7 kicks for Murphy. 12 kicks for Murphy.
And he shoots from 45. Has to favour the right-hand post, does so, but the ball hooked around somewhat. Was there a mark on the goal face? Yes, there was. At the back, the mark to Melican.
High in front, opposed to Phillips. Too much height. It was a very quick decision taken by umpire Laurie Argent.
And Melican is tucked away on the angle. In the left full forward pocket. 10 kicks, his 10th coming up. Chris Melican. 67 playing 84, the Tigers lead. This will be a very important shot. We're approaching three-quarter time. The Magpie cheer squad behind Chris Melican as he bends it back. And he kicks a goal. That is brilliant work by Chris Melican. And Glenelg boot their 13th.
Christopher Pelican Melican uses the check side kick with the left foot. Brings it back like a boomerang. And the goal on the board is the 6th goal for Glenelg for the quarter. And they move on to a 23-point lead.
After an interview yesterday, Melican conceded his form last week wasn't good, but he's really turning it on today. Excellent goal he's taken. Taken some big marks and had a lot of kicks. And they're going into attack again. Bartlett up to right half forward. Murphy no mark. Mansell. Chigwidden. He's got Bow if he wants him. Round the corner he goes. An awkward kick. They're under a lot of pressure, this half-back line and defence of Port Adelaide. No mark to Christie. Thompson, tackled, dispossessed. Port Adelaide now with the numbers. This is Williams, defensive side of centre. A long one, looking for Hodges. Over the top, no mark taken, he was sandwiched. Rowan Smith, who's had a very quiet one. Bartlett's got him. Now Bow. Hand pass to Duthie. Half-back line now over the wing. But just falling into the space is Tim Ginniver.
Phelps is to centre half-back. Phillips is to full-back.
And at three-quarter time, a big quarter of football by Glenelg. They lead by 23, 13-12-90. Port Adelaide 10-7-67.
Glenelg 13-12-90. Port at 10-7-67. Last quarter of the second semi-final here at Football Park in front of a big crowd. And there'll be a ball up alongside the centre circle.
Well, we look for the changes to be made. It's obvious that John Cale will try something. He's got Phelps at centre half-back, Phillips at full-back, and Hines at full forward.
Williams A lot of players there, McDermott as well, and there'll be another ball up.
And of course for Hines to go to full forward, Scott Hodges goes to centre half forward.
The Tigers by 23. Scene is set for an exciting final term. Milliken knocks it wide. Tregenza up towards centre half forward. Hodges. Bartlett is jarred wide. Well done, Alan Bartlett. He kicks it to the outer side centre wing. The race is on. Hutton versus McDermott. Coming in now is Jamison. Hutton is tackled. And the umpire says a bounce. Outer side centre wing. 90 playing 67, the Bays lead.
Glenelg got on top in the centre square in the third term. They also continued to win right across centre. But that's another two areas where Port must improve to kick winning score in the final term.
Here's McDermott around the body, up towards half forward. Chigwidden and northeast. Comes down. Abernathy, Geneva over the ball. It's jarred wide. Mark Williams, a hurried kick. It's into the path, but beautiful work by Bowe. Sweeping hand pass finds Marshall on the bounce. He kicks up towards half forward. Fidge comes out. Now a chance here for Mansell. It's open for Glenelg in the forward line, but brilliant evasion there by George Fiarchi. And he clears to the outer side half-back flank.
Yes, 10 out of 10 by Fiarchi. That was his 10th kick in defence. Geneva. Phelps can't quite keep it in play. It's out of bounds.
Simon Tregenza. Graham Corns a little more relieved than he was in the first term, but Tregenza showing a lot of courage to continue to play, is obviously in pain.
13-12 to 10-7. Clayton Lamb off the ground with some sort of leg injury. He was seen on crutches at three-quarter time. This is Williams. Little short chip pass to Thompson. Brown. Door opens now for Port Adelaide as the rover runs goalward. He can go all of the way. A little chip pass, not quite far enough, and as it turned out, it hit the post, and Duthie kept his eyes on that. It could have bounced either way, Darryl.
It was one of those situations where it's line ball, but good concentration. Gibbs goes short.
And finds Simons. 22 points the margin. Glenelg lead, good pass. And perhaps the two best players for the Tigers. Marshall with his 21st kick. Tumbles it up towards half forward. Christie lumbers out. Here's Chigwidden, also northeast, and he knocks it towards the boundary line.
And Wanganeen with Marshall. I wonder if Kale is playing Wanganeen man-to-man with David Marshall.
22 points in it. Left half forward for the Bays. Big pack of players around the ball. Murphy and Wanganeen intercepts beautifully. Had a pretty quiet day, the youngster. His 9th kick. And the mark in defence to Ross Gibbs. Gets it back from Milliken. Long to centre half forward. Mansell. Here's Abernathy. He's ridden into the ground as Geneva sweeps it out wide to Fiarchi. He's got to contend with two players and gets around them beautifully. Sweeping hand pass finds Mark Williams. He'll go long. The target, Hodges. Oh, what a mark by Hodges. He's been renowned for those one-handed spectacular grabs.
Dropping back behind the height of Bartlett, kept his eyes on the ball, and Argent was in position to pay the mark.
And he's kicked 5, his 10th kick coming up. Scott Hodges. He'll shoot from 45, tumble punt kick, but it's true. And the Magpies boot their 11th. The margin back to 16 points.
Well, he's what they need at centre half forward. Fiarchi worked the miracle, beat two players. Mark Williams has been pretty quiet, perhaps the heat for the senior citizen. And dropping back, just a subtle use of the hands and good concentration saw Scott Hodges take a well-earned mark.
That's certainly set the cat amongst the pigeons. 13-12 to 11-8. 4 3/4 minutes last quarter of the second semi. Hallahan battling hard. McDermott is in there as well, and there'll be a ball up. Umpire Laurie Argent coming across, and he'll ball it up alongside the centre circle. 13-12 to 11-8. 5 minutes. Bowe up to the right half forward line, over the head of Mansell and Fiarchi, and the ball tumbles over the line between the half forward line and that right forward pocket.
Can the Magpie come back? You never ever trust a wounded bird, and the Magpies are famous for last-minute comebacks.
They have to make up a 16-point margin. Comes wide to Marshall. Here's Ben Harris in defence for the Magpies. He steadies, looks in towards Darren Smith in the centre, opposed to Seabohm. Tregenza's beautifully tackled, and the pressure is enormous out there. A big crowd here at Football Park, and Glenelg holds sway by 16.
The next goal is critical. Port Adelaide must kick the next goal.
Attacking side of the centre for the Tigers, Mark Williams pops it up to right half forward. Boyd versus Thompson. It's knocked to ground. Bow comes in hard. Also Seabohm needs support. Gets it in the form of Robbie Thompson, who's played a good game on his half-back flank. His 14th kick. Marshall long to half forward. At the back of the pack is Fiacci, who's tackled beautifully. He's caught holding the ball. The free kick out there to Darren Mansell. Now he'll be looking for John Fidge. Has to shield his eyes from the sun. Fidge makes the lead now. His 4th kick, Mansell. The foot pass ends up with Ginnivan.
Now Tregenza. Oh, that hand pass was not good. But as it turned out, Tregenza redeemed himself superbly. That's the sign of a champion. Have a look at him go. Now he gets caught. McDermott. Gibbs. High one to right half forward. Melican. Oh, he's been paid the mark. Now Bow. Hallahan went past him, northeast. Hutton on the outer side at left half back. Short pass to Brown. He's got him. Gibbs stands the mark. Brown looking for options. 8th kick coming up. A 30-metre drop punt. Hines. Defence of Glenelg pretty good from behind. Now Bow round the corner, over the head of Brown. Melican. Chance now for the Bays as Melican lets go, looking for Christie, but Harris is there and takes a strong mark.
Left half back transfer play out wide. The target is Johnston. He has to contend with Jamison, who's got the pace advantage, but good work by Johnston. Fidge is tackled. He'll get the free kick. With the breeze, the lead's on in the pocket from Murphy. He's booted 6, John Fidge. Now Marshall breaks in the pocket and he picks him out well.
And good control of the ball by Glenelg. Fidge could have blasted. No one was in the square to receive. And Marshall, who has played wide of centre to the spaces, in for 23rd kick.
It's been an outstanding performance by David Marshall. He has to favour the right-hand post. Left half forward, lets fly for goal. It's coming around, but not enough. And a behind score, Glenelg 13-13-91. Port Adelaide 11-8-74.
Which is 19 scoring shots to 25. Glenelg a little inaccurate.
17 points this lead. Hutton. Far side. Eastern flank. Short pass to Harris, who he's got it. Had to stretch every fibre. Northeast. By hand to Ginnivan. Back to northeast. Now Tregenza, and they build with confidence. Not a good kick. Off Williams' chest. Good enough to get away with it. Brown, intelligent. Gains about 15 metres. Duthie caught. Too high. Too high, the umpire says. Duthie takes the free kick. Changes direction. Good mark. Chigwidden with a lot of courage. Williams stands the mark and Chigwidden races away into the centre. Salisbury.
Well, that's the courage of Scott Salisbury. He kept his eye on that ball, saw the opponent coming, and went down with the ball.
He may as well have run into a truck. That was Ben Harris who he ran into. That's his 8th kick. Salisbury. Fidge. Excellent body work. Judged it superbly, Darryl.
Well, I think he realised that Phillips would be too strong for him, so he timed it very late and then quickly snuck in front.
13-13 to 11-8, 91-74. 6 goals to Fidge as Phillips has hands on head. This is his 15th kick. 9-10 minutes gone now, last quarter. So Fidge would be 55, 60 metres out, but he's confident. It's a massive screw punt. That is very long, not quite long enough, and the mark is taken by Fiacci. And what a game he is having.
Last line, the back pocket player should be the last man.
17 points in it, Fiacci out wide. target was Abernathy, scooped forward, but it's out of play. 15 metres out from the Tigers' goal.
Almost 11 minutes into the last quarter. Port Adelaide needing to run. They're not winning in key positions.
And Coach John Kay will be a worried man. Here's Stephen Williams in defence, Hallahan. And the players like Hallahan and the running players, Simons in particular, really cut Port Adelaide to shreds.
Marshall in the centre, Simon centre wing. Chigwidden, when he came on, he went berserk in the third quarter and led with example.
It's at right half forward for the Tigers. 17 points the margin. Over the ball is McDermott. Great body work. Ends up with Salisbury. Chips in towards the space. And making space with Michael Murphy, who's booted through.
Well, they're not using the ball. We're trying to get in close. The last kick from Fidge was from 60, 65 metres. Now Murphy will kick from 50. And he's got the wind at his back, but he would be tiring.
And Murphy taken 9 marks for the day. Coming up for his 14th kick, Michael Murphy. He's taking his time. As Salisbury breaks it right half forward. Murphy, breeze at his back, will kick from 50. Lets one fly. Good looking kick by Michael Murphy. And Glenelg boot it clear. They beat their 14th. And the margin a whopping 23 points.
Well, Murphy kicking his third goal. It was a good 50-52 metres. Now he's been a key player. Centre half forward is an exceptionally difficult position to play. He was opposed in the first half of 2.5 quarters to Greg Phillips. Too mobile, too tall, and a really critical player for Tigers.
It's a 23-point margin. Glenelg 14-13, Port 11-8. And time now is running out. Thompson, McDermott. Out very wide. Jamison should get this, and does. Plays on quickly. His 7th kick, inside 50. Fidge on a long lead. Christie was there as well. Wanganeen tackled, brought to the ground and dispossessed. And there'll be a ball up inside of the Glenelg 50 half circle.
Well, the speed of the tackle has kept the smaller Port Adelaide players unbalanced.
So a lot of pressure here, particularly if you're a Port Adelaide supporter. Well, that looked a little high, and it was. And Mark Mackey right on the spot, and the free kick is going Glenelg's way. It'll go to Jamison.
Jamison started at half-back, has been at half-forward since Clayton Lamb went off. He is an exceptionally long kick. He's been in fine form this year and should make the distance.
Handy player to switch to half-forward, Darryl.
Well, he started his junior football there, began league football as a wingman, and now has moved to defence.
He'll kick from about 50 to the northern end. He's got the breeze at his back. That's a pretty good kick, but it's not quite accurate enough. It just misses to the right-hand side. So Glenelg 14-14, 98. Port 11-8, 74.
The margin 24. Phillips goes short. Tregenza looks long. The target, Mark Williams. Good commitment. He went to play on, then checked his movement. Now plays on for his 14th kick into the centre of the ground. Chance here for Foster. Oh, but great body work by McDermott. He does that so well. Earns many free kicks at the base of packs, Chris McDermott. He'll kick from the attacking side of centre. In fact, the hand pass over towards Gibbs. Tumbles it up towards half forward. The fly from Christie as Fidge concedes ground. Murphy inside 50. Left footer to the square. Mansell. Bow, and Biaggi will clear. For this 20th kick on towards Brown. Inside his defensive 50. 2 bounces. Make that 3. Lost it now, David Brown. Lost a moment of concentration. And Russell Boyd, a good mark at centre wing on the outer side. He plays on. Foster provides the run. Good evasion by Richard Foster. Got a hurried kick to half forward. Hodges spilt really what he should have taken. Boyd was tackled high. Going in hard is Mark Williams. And things going Glenelg's way as Gibbs clears towards the grandstand side in front of the adoring members. And Glenelg 14-14-98, Port Adelaide 11-8-74.
Well, the duck was a little bit high and the umpire would not play the free.
15 minutes, last quarter. Tregenza, Hodges showing a bit of pace and then caught. Hand pass to Williams. Can they set something up? Williams falls on his face. Ginniver evades, does well, has a shot. Hines in the goal square. Knocked away by Duthie. Well done, Seabohm. Hines runs at him. Seabohm has to get the hand pass away and does it quickly to Marshall. Another hand pass by Marshall. This is Salisbury. The crowd love him. Long one. Christie! Oh, yes!
A very constructive player today, Gary Christie. Too tall for Fiacci, too mobile for the Port Adelaide defence.
His 7th mark. 14-14 to 11-8. Short. Poor checking Port. Straight into the skipper's arms, and Darryl, he wasn't going to let go of that.
Well, it does two things. The seconds tick by, puts McDermott closer to goal. Not the best and most accurate kick in the Glenelg side, but about 40 metres out.
14-14 to 11-8. 16th kick for Chris McDermott. Long kick is good. And the crowd respond. And now Port Adelaide have enormous problems. It's 15-14 to 11-8, and Glenelg looking good.
Well, the mark to Christie showed the balance of the Glenelg side, kicking out quickly to McDermott, and that shot, a brilliant shot for goal. His first. 31,489 people have enjoyed the Tigers' supremacy.
And the margin out to 30 points. A free kick in the centre, so things going the Tigers' way. Milliken, the head of centre, tumbles it up towards half forward. Phelps comes out, but he spilt what he should have taken.
Yeah.
Swooping on the loose ball is Simons, who's been a great player on his centre wing, but it came unstuck on that occasion. Foster, the short pass in the path of Ginniver, who's got the run of it. Callahan bearing down as he chips in short on the outer side centre wing and finds David Hutton. They trail by 30, time running out for the Magpies as Ginniver runs ahead well. He chips in towards the space, but the defence of Gibbs stood too strong and a good mark in his back pocket. His 20th kick onto Bow, out wide. Target is Chigwin. Good aerial work by the Rover. Salisbury runs into trouble. Wasn't the best of hand passes. Foster, and the ball recalled back. So the Magpies defensive side of centre wing. Possession with Hutton. Up towards centre half forward. Bartlett, some heavy body work. Comes out wide. Stephen Williams battling with Ross Gibbs. Good work by Gibbs. Ginniver tries to spin out of trouble. It's loose. Here's Northeast. A hurry kick in the direction of Darren Smith. He takes a belated mark. Tregenza onto Hines. A walking goal for the Magpies. And Hines boots his first. And the Magpies kick their 12th.
Well, a little belated perhaps. Northeast with strength, put it high. Darren Smith has been virtually unsighted at the back of Seabohm, passing off quickly. Tregenza to Hines, and David Hines kicking accurately for his first. They're back within 24 points. 5 straight kicks for the Magpies to win.
And we've seen them do it before, Darryl. They're not out of this.
Not out, but getting awfully close.
15-14 to 12-8. 19 minutes gone, so perhaps 10 minutes or so left in this second semi-final, with the winner to go into this year's grand final. And there'll be another ball up.
Well, Glenelg were always confident that they were the fitter team, and the little men have shown the run that they've been a very balanced team.
24 points this margin to Glenelg, and they set it up in that third quarter. Ginniver, a lot of Glenelg players there. One of them is Marshall, who's played magnificently today. McDermott also, and there'll be another ball up. 15-14, 104, 31,000 here. Thought there might have been a few more than that, but the official attendance just over 31,000. 15-14 to 12-8. We're approaching the 20-minute mark of the last quarter. Williams had 3 or 4 bites at that. Bartlett, Hodges, a sweeper, and now Boyd round the corner. Has he brought it back far enough? No, he hasn't, but only just missing it. Hit the post, and that could have quite easily have been another one to the Magpies.
Well, he worked hard to get wide, but he was forced onto the left foot by Thompson. Gibbs and the Glenelg players were pretty happy to slow down and waste as much time as possible.
The Tigers hold sway by 23. Gibbs goes short, finds Simons. Numerous kicks for Tony Simons today. His 18th. And defence has to tangle with a streamer. Looks out wide, Melican. This is loose checking by Port Adelaide. He'll draw the player. Runs provided by Bowe. He'll run away from half-back. Too much pace for Mark Williams. He goes long. The target, Christie, in front. Behind is Fidge. Ben Harris will mop up. The hand pass was loose. Fiachi also in the way was Murphy. Was at right half forward for the Tigers. And the bounce will occur. Pretty happy coach Graham Corns. His side is up by 23 points. And they look certain to, well, almost certain to go through to the 1990 grand final. Right half forward, Mansell. A quick kick, but only as far as Ben Harris. He looks for options. Backtracks to Fiachi. Magpie defence messing around. Here's Hines. Over the top to Foster, who's got a bit of toe too, Richard Foster. Defensive side of centre wing. Looks up towards Russell Boyd. Further afield is Hodges. He's wrestling with Bartlett out there. It's fed wide. Hutton into the pocket. Chance here for Johnston, but he overran it. And mopping up in defence is Ross Gibbs.
And we've seen that so many times before, David. This defence of Glenelg has done particularly well today. One of the major differences. Well, Salisbury messed that up just as I speak. Tregenza got around too and will probably kick a goal, and he has got it. So just as you give them a rap, they make a mistake. And you can't do that against the Magpies. Tregenza gets his first. It's 15-14 to 13-9.
Magpie supporters rally, just 17 points in it. Will they have time to fight back? We've played 23 minutes final term. Knock on by Marshall. Here's Foster. Up towards Hodges. Good knock on. Going in hard, Geneva. Almost a throw out of the pack. It's jarred wide. Mark Williams onto Brown. Bouncing his way inside 50, and he goes. David Brown puts the Magpies 14th on the board, and the margin is edged back to 11 points.
Well, 3 goals in 4 minutes. This one, Foster bursting forward. Hodges couldn't take. Forced forward by Geneva. Mark Williams gave it to David Brown. They were inside the defence, and they're still in with a chance.
And within a twinkling, the Magpies have the opportunity to steal this second semi-final. Just 11 points in it. Chigwitten with a wild hand pass. Left footer by Simons, who's done an outstanding job today after spending 2 or 3 weeks in the seconds. It's at left half forward for Glenelg, and 31,000 people here watching this excellent game of football. 15-14 to 14-9. Another goal now by Port Adelaide would make it more than interesting. It's out of bounds. Time ticking away. 24 minutes gone. And John Cale, Darrell, he must know he's got a chance now.
Well, still at least 5 minutes to go. It's only 2 straight kicks in it.
Christie through the congestion somehow. Chigwitten had Hallahan. Goes shorter. It goes longer, I should say. Fidge. Fiachi. Geez, played a good game. Mansell on his hammer. Fiachi and Mansell and Fidge. He's outnumbered 2 to 1, so he has his problems. Holding on. No. Umpire says no, and Port Adelaide out of trouble, but for how long? Marshall is over there. Needed support. Bowe is over there as well, and they tied up at right half forward.
The little things count as the time ticks away. It's the defensive side, Glenelg. Both sides still plenty of run, but Port need to carry the ball.
And we're approaching time on final term in the second semi. 11 points in it. The Tigers lead. Murphy in defence. Bowe over the ball, and another bounce will occur. In fact, the attacking zone of the Tigers, right half forward.
As we enter time on, there were 6 goals kicked for the quarter. Little time wasted, so we can expect about 3 or 4 minutes to play.
The bounce taken by Murphy, trying to gain possession cleanly. Could have perhaps been caught holding the ball, but umpire Mackey, the second option, and the bounce just outside 50.
The runners will be busy. Glenelg will build walls. Port will try to attack.
Here's Murphy once again. Quick kick. Jamieson. Was he held? No. Fiachi, the hand pass away to Mark Williams, and again jarred out of play. So just outside 50, 11 points in it, the Tigers lead in front of 30+ thousand here at Football Park.
Time being eroded by Glenelg, and that's the key now. McDermott will run onto it. What will he do? Generally something useful. It's a high up and under. Phillips and Fidge will get the ride. Now there's a player down behind play. The mark has been taken by Phillips. It was Brown. There's 50. Or no, it's not. He'll still with Phillips. Across the face, northeast. Over his head. He's got to run at it. And Glenelg still with a chance. Simons. Christie. What can he do? From 50, long kick. No mark taken in the goal square. Mansell tried to kick it off the ground, and again. Hallahan round the corner, and at long last Hallahan got it. No, he's missed. It's got to go back. It's a free kick.
To Mansell for Glenelg, and he'll be kicking from about 1 metre. There's the incident. Fiachi did everything, including leg rope the cow.
Well, he was desperate, George Fiachi. So this surely would be a goal, and surely the sealer, as Mansell has had 5 kicks. This is his 6th. And gets it. And surely that's the sealer now. 27 minutes. Glenelg 16-14. Port 14-9.
Well, that was a desperation measure. Northeast tried to break clear over the pack. Simons the ball to Christie. Glenelg just enough possession to the square where Mansell did battle with Fiachi, and a free result.
So the margin 17, 16-14, 110 Glenelg. Port Adelaide 14-9, 93. Darren Mansell, 1 goal, 28 minutes. We're approaching thereof in the final term.
Looks like a new football, David.
Umpire Argent runs to the centre now, so
Must have been souvenired.
time really running out for Port Adelaide. The bounce in the centre. Melican, who's run tirelessly up against Hines. Melican won it down. Here's Geneva. Jarred off his hand pass. Bow comes through strongly. Almost a push in the back. Comes out wide to Hutton. He's got a runner in Phelps, but Thompson will meet it. A cruel bounce for Robbie Thompson allows Boyd to run just outside 50. He squares it, and Mark Williams marks just inside 50. Williams, with the breeze in his face, goes long. A good-looking kick by Mark Williams. It has the carry, and the Magpies score their 15th. The margin again back to 11 points.
Mark Williams, coming back from injury, has been quiet. He was a good 35, 40 metres out and gave that one everything. It just evaded the outstretched hands. So the Magpies are still in there. It's almost 4 minutes into time off.
11 minutes, I should say 11 points this margin. 16-14 to 15-9. Back in the centre. Went past northeast. Hand pass backwards. This is Phelps. Round the corner he goes. Thompson getting underneath it. Eyes only for the ball. No mark taken. Chance for Geneva. Port Adelaide go into attack again. Geneva's pass looking for Johnston. Gibbs. Across the face. That was dangerous under the circumstances. Smith trying to pick up. Can't do so, and it's out of bounds right forward pocket.
Well, Darren Smith's had one of those days. He's a confidence player, needs to be taking marks. He's been thwarted by Seabolt.
In attack for the Magpies, possibly their last chance. Johnston flicks it back, but here's Marshall. Up towards centre wing, Jamieson runs out. Did that well, Rodney Jamieson, and pops it up to half forward. Mansell, a chance for Hallahan. But Glenelg earn a passage to the 1990 Grand Final. A fantastic win in the second semi. A lot of emotion in the win. Home by 11 points, the Tigers. 16-14 to Port Adelaide, 15-9.